Did you know that in the Saint Seiya anime, there are 12 knights who don't have a constellation, and that the names of their armors were simply made up? Hello, Amazon Knights! Welcome to the Sempre Quiz Saber channel. I'm Wes. And in today's video, we're going to explore one of the most fascinating mysteries of the Saint Seiya franchise. Everyone knows that in the Sanctuary, there are 88 armors based on the constellations. However, in the Saint Seiya anime, some knights were shown who have armors that are not based on these constellations. And these are considered the 12 knights without constellations. Want to know more about this? So go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and let's get into this awesome video.
Sempre quis saber.
To start this journey, we need to understand something fundamental. In the universe of Saint Seiya, a warrior's rank is defined by their guardian constellation. However, during the production of the original anime in the 80s, Toei Animation had to create extra content so that the TV series wouldn't surpass the manga. That's when the so-called filler knights, or simply knights without constellations, appeared. They're not necessarily weaker. An absurd amount of work for Seiya and his friends. The point is that they operate in a gray area of the hierarchy. Let's get to know each one of them now. Knight number 1, the Master of Ice, the Crystal Knight. Perhaps the most beloved and important on this list, the Crystal Knight is not just a filler. He is the father figure and mentor of Hyuga, the Swan Saint in the anime. While in the manga, Hyuga's master is Aquarius Kamu, in the anime they decided to introduce this intermediary character, the Crystal Saint. He is in Siberia, specifically in the village of Kohutek. He is a man of unshakable principles and has a freezing Cosmo equivalent to that of the Silver Saints. His armor is beautiful, with crystal tones and a helmet that resembles an ice crown. The problem begins when he goes to the sanctuary to question the Grand Master about the tyranny that is spreading throughout the world. There he is struck by the Imperial Satan, the blow that controls the mind. He returns to Siberia as a tyrant, forcing the people to build an ice pyramid. The fight between him and Hyuga is one of the most thrilling of the classic phase, culminating in the Aurora Thunder and the tragic death of a master who, even without an official constellation, trained one of the greatest heroes in history. Rumor has it that he would be the knight of the Corona Borealis constellation, but officially, he remains a knight without a constellation. Knight number 2, the Incandescent Fury, the Fire Knight. If on one side we have ice, on the other side we have infernal heat. The Fire Knight, or a Netsu sent, appears right after the defeat of Docrates. He was sent by Gigas, the right-hand man of the Grand Master, to recover the mask of the gold armor. Unlike most knights who focus on physical impact, this guy is a born pyro. He uses the flame prison attack, which creates a whirlwind of fire capable of melting the ground. He put Shunji Andromeda in a desperate situation, burning the chains. They are known for being nearly indestructible.
O que torna esse personagem
His armor seems to be made of a material that absorbs heat, and his helmet resembles the flames of a forest fire. He was only stopped when Ikki of the Phoenix literally rose from the ashes and showed that when it comes to fire, the Phoenix is in charge. Knight number 3, the Giant of Athens, Docrates. Do you remember Cassius, that gigantic warrior who fought against Seiya right at the beginning? Well, Docrates is his brother. He is the tallest knight in terms of physical stature that has ever appeared in the series. He wears a full suit of armor. Docrates was sent to capture Saori. He is the knight with the greatest physical stature who has ever appeared. He is the tallest knight in terms of physical stature who has appeared. He is the biggest knight.
ele acabou sendo derrotado pela estratégia combinada.
He is a knight.
Cavaleiro número 4, o estrategista.
Soccer Knight. He is the reference in terms of ways to be a knight, having appeared several times. He appeared together with Sheena of Cobra and Algol of Perseus on the mission to eliminate the Bronze Knights on Volcano Island. Spartan's main ability is telekinesis. He can control objects, deflect attacks, and even paralyze his opponent using only the power of his mind. His armor is minimalist, covering only the vital points, which gives him incredible agility. During the fight, he managed to immobilize Seiya while Algol used the Medusa shield. He is one of the few knights who doesn't die. After Algol's defeat, he escapes with Sheena, disappearing completely from the timeline. No one knows where he is now, but his mental ability was at the Silver Knight level. Knights number 5 and 6, the rivals from Andromeda Island, Leda and Spica. When Shun was training on Andromeda Island under the guidance of Albion of Cepheus, he was not alone. Leda and Spica were his training companions and fierce rivals. They couldn't obtain the Andromeda bronze armor, and because of that, they held a deep grudge. They wear armors that resemble chains, but in a much more aggressive and less refined way than Shun's. Their technique is the double chain attack, where they try to strangle their opponent from 2 different sides. They show up to confront Shun before he goes to the 12 houses, serving as a final test for the Andromeda Knight to prove that his kindness was not a weakness. Although they don't have constellations, they represent the frustration of those who trained their whole lives and were rejected by the stars. Knight number 7. The Killer Shadow, the Shadow Knight. Often mistaken for the Black Knights, the Shadow Knight is actually a special agent of the Sanctuary. He doesn't have a revealed name, serving only as an execution tool. He literally moves through the shadows, attacking when the enemy least expects it. Unlike the knights mentioned earlier, this character does not appear in the anime. The Shadow Knight is a character from one of the first Saint Seiya games. The shape of his armor is a human skull, and you fight against him in Saint Seiya Ogundan Setsu at the end of the 12 houses. Knight number 8. The Mountain Hunter, Arachne of Tarantula. Here we have a controversy. Arachne introduces himself as the Silver Knight of Tarantula. The problem: there is no Tarantula constellation on the modern star map. That's why he is included in the list of knights without an official constellation. Arachne was sent to Jamiel to find Knight Mu and discover why he wasn't serving the Sanctuary. He ends up facing Seiya, who was without his armor at first. Arachne uses the Tarantula web attack, which drains the opponent's Cosmo while immobilizing them. He is arrogant, cruel, and has an armor design that really resembles a spider, with an appendage coming out of his back. He was defeated when Seiya received the Pegasus armor sent by Kiki, proving that a tarantula is no match for a horse. Knight number 9, the Queen of Exile, Giste. Now we're entering even wilder territory. The next 4 knights were a group of exiles, known as the Phantom Knights. They were banished by the former Grandmaster, the Real Scion, to Spectre Island in the Caribbean, due to their violent nature and lack of ethics in combat. However, the new Grandmaster decided to pardon them in exchange for the heads of the Bronze Knights. Gista is the leader of this group. An old disciple or close friend of Sheena of Ophiuchus. She wears a mask like all Amazons. Her techniques are based on illusions and poison. She is extremely strategic and uses the environment of Spectre Island to drive the Bronze Knights insane. Gista represents the dark side of Athena's Amazons, those who have lost faith in justice and now fight only for survival and revenge. Knight number 10, the Terror of the Depths, Sea Serpent. Imagine a knight who can swim faster than a dolphin and has skin so slippery that no attack can hit him. That's the Sea Serpent. His armor is unique, made of a material that looks like marine reptile leather, but with the strength of metal. In the water, he is almost invincible. He gave Ioga and Seiya a really hard time, dragging them into the depths and trying to drown them. He is not Poseidon's marine knight, but rather Athena's knight, who specialized in underwater combat. He ended up being defeated when the knights managed to bring him to dry land, where his agility dropped drastically. Knight number 11. The Petrifying Gaze, Medusa. Don't confuse him with Algol of Perseus, who has Medusa's shield. The Phantom Knight of Medusa represents the sea creature. He is a warrior mage, agile and with a helmet that resembles a jellyfish. He was the most sadistic member of the group, taking pleasure in seeing his opponents suffer before being defeated. Knight number 12, the Leaping Predator, Dolphin. Finally, we have Dolphin, who is the opposite of what you would expect from a cute animal like a dolphin. He is a brute warrior who uses jumping and acrobatic techniques to crush his enemies. His armor is smooth, designed to reduce air and water resistance. He fought bravely against Dragon Shiryu, trying to use speed to overcome the dragon's wrath. But like all the other ghosts, he ended up succumbing to the overwhelming power of the protagonists. These 12 warriors, although often forgotten by official guides and constellation encyclopedias, show the richness of the Saint Seiya universe. They are proof that the Cosmo does not choose only those who were born under the right stars, but also those who, through rigorous training or dark circumstances, reached the level of a knight. Some were honored masters, others were ruthless assassins, but all left their mark on history. The Sanctuary may have even tried to erase their names, but for us fans, they are an essential part of the nostalgia and mythology of the series. Did you enjoy the video? Leave a comment if I missed any knight on this list. Thanks for watching until the end. See you next time. Burn your Cosmo to infinity.